Have you ever posted something online feeling proud, only to notice a harsh negative comment appearing beneath it, suddenly changing your mood and making you question your work and confidence? Negative comments on the internet can feel personal and painful, especially when they appear unexpectedly, but learning how to respond calmly can transform criticism into an opportunity for growth and confidence. Many creators, professionals, and everyday users face criticism online. Yet the difference between frustration and success often depends on how someone reacts in the moments immediately after reading negativity. Before responding to a negative comment, the most important step is pausing for a moment, because emotional reactions often lead to responses that create bigger problems instead of solving them. When people see criticism directed toward them, their first instinct is often to defend themselves quickly, yet responding too fast without thinking can unintentionally escalate the situation and attract more negativity. A calm and thoughtful response sends a powerful message, showing others that you are confident, respectful, and capable of handling criticism without losing control of your emotions. Not every negative comment deserves the same response, because some comments come from genuine feedback, while others simply aim to provoke reactions or create unnecessary arguments online. Learning to recognize the difference between constructive criticism and simple negativity is one of the most valuable skills anyone can develop when interacting with audiences on the internet. Constructive criticism often contains useful suggestions or observations that may help improve your work, even if the comment initially sounds blunt or uncomfortable to read. On the other hand, some comments are written purely to attract attention or provoke emotional reactions, and responding to them may only encourage further negativity. Understanding the intention behind a comment allows you to choose the smartest response instead of reacting emotionally and unintentionally, giving power to negativity. One effective strategy is reading the comment again slowly and asking yourself whether there is any helpful insight hidden within the criticism. Sometimes people express valuable opinions in ways that seem harsh, but when the message is examined carefully, it may reveal ideas that improve your perspective. If a comment highlights a genuine mistake or misunderstanding, acknowledging the point respectfully can actually strengthen your credibility and show maturity to your audience. Many respected creators gain trust from their audiences because they demonstrate openness to feedback rather than reacting defensively whenever someone questions their work. Responding with appreciation for helpful feedback can turn a potentially negative interaction into a positive conversation that benefits both you and the person commenting. For example, a simple response thanking someone for pointing out a concern can demonstrate professionalism and encourage constructive dialogue instead of unnecessary conflict. When people observe calm responses to criticism, they often respect the person responding even more than before, because composure reflects confidence and emotional intelligence. Another important technique is focusing on the message rather than the tone, because sometimes the delivery may sound harsh even when the underlying point is meaningful. By separating emotion from information, you gain the ability to evaluate comments more objectively and respond in ways that maintain professionalism. However, it is equally important to remember that not every negative comment requires a response, especially when the comment is clearly intended to provoke conflict. Ignoring comments that seek attention can sometimes be the most powerful response, because engagement often gives unnecessary visibility to negativity. Silence, when used wisely, can communicate that you prefer meaningful conversations rather than unproductive arguments. Many experienced creators understand that their time and energy are valuable, so they choose carefully which comments deserve thoughtful responses. When you prioritize constructive conversations, your audience gradually learns that respectful dialogue receives attention, while negativity does not. Another effective approach involves responding with curiosity rather than defensiveness when someone raises criticism about your work. Asking polite questions can clarify misunderstandings and demonstrate that you are willing to listen instead of immediately rejecting someone else's perspective. For instance, asking someone to explain their concern further may reveal details that help you better understand their viewpoint. Sometimes, a simple misunderstanding can create negative reactions online, and a calm clarification can resolve the issue quickly. Clear communication helps prevent confusion and ensures that someone just left a nasty comment attacking you personally. Your gut reaction? Fire back immediately. But here's what most people miss. That pause before you respond? That's your superpower. Because angry replies turn small fires into explosions. Instead, read it twice. Ask yourself, is this about my work or just noise? If it's actual criticism, respond to the idea, not the tone. If it's just bait trying to get a reaction, don't feed it. Set boundaries with calm confidence. Say what you stand for without the drama. Your calm response influences everyone watching, not just the commenter. And here's the real trick successful creators use. They turn criticism into content. That negative comment? It just became your next video topic. Follow for more tips on handling online conversations like a pro. One of the most powerful strategies for handling negative comments is turning them into opportunities for connection and influence, which many creators use to grow trust and credibility online. Rather than seeing criticism as a threat, it can be approached as a chance to show expertise, patience, and emotional intelligence to your audience. When a comment raises a genuine question or concern, responding with helpful guidance transforms negativity into an opportunity to teach or clarify. For example, if someone misinterprets your content, politely explaining your intention demonstrates both clarity and professionalism. People are often more impressed by thoughtful responses than by the content itself because handling negativity effectively shows maturity. Responding publicly to negative comments can also influence others observing the conversation, showing that respectful dialogue is valued and encouraged. Constructive engagement can build a community of supporters who respect your approach and may even help moderate future negativity. Turning criticism into influence requires recognizing the difference between comments worth engaging and those best ignored. Engagement should focus on discussions that contribute meaningfully to the topic, while purely inflammatory remarks often gain power when acknowledged. By carefully choosing which comments to address, you control the narrative instead of letting negativity dictate it. Using humor strategically can also diffuse tension, but it must be light, respectful, and never sarcastic in a way that escalates conflict. A witty, gentle response can make the interaction feel more human and less confrontational while still maintaining authority. Many creators share that their most loyal followers often notice how gracefully they handle criticism, which strengthens long-term engagement. Another technique is asking clarifying questions to encourage constructive dialogue, turning potential arguments into informative discussions. For example, asking, "Could you explain what you mean?" invites explanation rather than confrontation. This approach encourages people to reflect on their words and can reduce impulsive negativity. Additionally, documenting recurring criticism can help identify patterns in your work or content that may require improvement. Viewing negative comments as feedback allows you to evolve rather than feel attacked or discouraged. Consistently demonstrating composure shows that your focus is on improvement, not emotional reactions. It also helps your audience recognize that quality and professionalism are priorities in your interactions. When criticism highlights areas of growth, acknowledging it openly can earn respect and strengthen credibility. Many creators even thank commenters for pointing out issues, showing humility without compromising confidence. Responding constructively encourages others to provide thoughtful feedback rather than simply complaining or trolling. At the same time, some negative comments are motivated purely by attention-seeking, and engaging with them may be counterproductive. Ignoring such comments can prevent giving visibility to negativity while protecting your energy and focus. Establishing a balance between engagement and non-engagement is key to maintaining mental well-being online. Avoiding overexposure to negativity reduces stress and allows for more thoughtful responses to comments that truly matter. Another approach is reframing the criticism to find potential lessons, even in harshly worded messages. Sometimes negative comments reveal gaps in communication that, once addressed, improve clarity and prevent misunderstandings. This mindset transforms negative interactions into growth opportunities instead of sources of frustration. People who practice this strategy often develop resilience, emotional intelligence, and better communication skills over time. A calm, thoughtful response also demonstrates leadership, showing that you can manage discussions without escalating conflict. Those observing your responses often mirror the behavior, which gradually fosters a respectful and constructive community. Addressing criticism with empathy, clarity, and professionalism also signals that you value meaningful dialogue. It discourages others from resorting to inflammatory or disrespectful remarks in the future. Responding strategically, rather than impulsively, transforms negativity into a tool for influence and learning. Another method involves highlighting the positives in feedback while gently correcting misunderstandings. For instance, acknowledging a valid point before clarifying misinformation creates a balanced and fair response. This approach prevents defensive tones from escalating arguments while maintaining your credibility. Publicly demonstrating fairness and thoughtfulness enhances your reputation as someone who values dialogue over confrontation. Over time, consistent responses. Some negative comments are not occasional but persistent, which can feel overwhelming. Knowing how to manage them without losing your peace of mind is essential for a long-term online presence. Persistent negativity, often from trolls, requires strategies that protect emotional well-being while maintaining professionalism and credibility. Trolls thrive on reactions, so responding impulsively often encourages more negativity rather than resolving the situation. One effective approach is to avoid feeding the troll, meaning do not give attention to comments clearly intended to provoke conflict. Instead, focus energy on comments that offer constructive dialogue or genuine questions that can benefit both you and your audience. Blocking or muting persistent trolls is a valid tool that prioritizes mental health without escalating conflict publicly. Many platforms provide moderation tools, such as comment filtering or reporting, to minimize exposure to harmful interactions. Taking control of your environment online allows you to maintain focus on meaningful engagement rather than distractions from negativity. Another strategy involves setting clear community guidelines, showing your audience that respectful interactions are valued and expected. Communicating expectations encourages constructive discussions while discouraging harmful or disruptive behavior. Publicly enforcing guidelines demonstrates fairness and consistency, which strengthens your credibility. Responding to persistent negativity with calm, concise statements prevents escalation while maintaining professionalism. Short, polite responses often stop further engagement from those seeking emotional reactions. At times, not responding at all is the most powerful strategy, signaling that negativity does not control the conversation. Choosing when to respond and when to step back is crucial for maintaining peace of mind and preventing burnout. Regularly reviewing your interactions can help identify patterns in comments, allowing proactive adjustments to responses or moderation strategies. Another important consideration is mental health, because prolonged exposure to negativity can impact confidence, focus, and emotional balance. Taking breaks from online platforms is essential to recharge and maintain perspective. Engaging in offline activities or mindfulness practices helps reduce stress and prevents negative comments from dominating thoughts. Surrounding yourself with supportive communities or trusted peers also provides perspective and emotional reinforcement. Remember, negative comments reflect the commenter more than the recipient, often stemming from personal frustrations rather than objective evaluation. Understanding this distinction helps reduce the emotional impact of harsh remarks. In situations where comments feel overwhelming, talking to a friend, mentor, or counselor can provide clarity and emotional support. Practicing self-compassion reminds you that no one is immune to criticism and that handling it wisely is a skill that improves over time. Another approach is to maintain a response framework, planning how to handle recurring types of negative comments in advance. For instance, template responses can be adapted for common criticism without sacrificing authenticity or professionalism. This preparation reduces the stress of thinking on the spot and helps ensure responses remain respectful and effective. Engaging selectively also allows focus on valuable interactions that contribute positively to your work and audience relationships. Observing your audience's response to your approach helps refine strategies over time for better outcomes. Over time, consistent, measured responses shape your reputation as someone composed, empathetic, and credible under pressure. When trolls see that attempts to provoke reactions fail, they often disengage, which reduces long-term negativity. Engaging positively with genuine feedback, while ignoring or filtering harmful comments, maintains balance between growth and mental well-being. Regularly reminding yourself of the purpose behind your content can reinforce resilience against criticism. Focusing on your goals rather than emotional reactions preserves clarity and energy for productive interactions. Maintaining consistency in tone, language, and engagement standards strengthens audience trust and reduces confusion in conversations. Another key technique is reframing negative comments by looking for useful insights hidden within them. Even harsh criticism may highlight areas for improvement or alternative perspectives worth considering. Reframing comments prevents emotional reactions from taking over while turning negativity into actionable feedback. Documenting patterns in criticism over time can help identify trends or recurring misunderstandings. Addressing these proactively can reduce repeated negative comments and improve communication overall. A calm, the final step in mastering negative comments is cultivating a resilient mindset that transforms criticism into growth and strengthens confidence in every interaction. Developing resilience starts with understanding that criticism is often more about perception than personal attack, allowing emotional distance without losing focus on improvement. When you view negative comments as opportunities to learn, even harsh feedback becomes a tool to refine skills, content, or communication strategies. A growth-oriented mindset sees every comment, positive or negative, as a stepping stone toward improvement rather than a judgment on personal worth. One advanced strategy is journaling responses or reflections on criticism privately before engaging publicly, which provides clarity and reduces impulsive reactions. Documenting thoughts allows you to analyze patterns in feedback and choose the most constructive course of action. Consistent reflection encourages self-awareness, helping you respond with balance, professionalism, and emotional intelligence. Another approach involves using criticism to identify blind spots in your content, communication, or behavior that may otherwise go unnoticed. Many successful creators and professionals attribute growth to learning from comments that initially seemed negative or discouraging. Viewing criticism as a mirror rather than a weapon empowers individuals to control how they interpret and act on feedback. Building confidence in your responses requires practice, patience, and intentionality in every interaction with negativity. Over time, you become capable of separating constructive feedback from baseless negativity almost instinctively. This separation allows you to focus energy on meaningful improvements instead of wasting attention on unhelpful criticism. Maintaining confidence also involves self-affirmation, reminding yourself of your expertise, goals, and accomplishments when faced with harsh comments. Positive self-talk reinforces resilience and prevents negative remarks from undermining your self-esteem. Another advanced strategy is transforming criticism into engagement, inviting conversation that encourages learning and collaboration rather than conflict. Asking thoughtful follow-up questions or offering clarification turns potential negativity into meaningful dialogue. Audiences often admire this approach because it demonstrates calmness, intelligence, and willingness to grow. When done consistently, this creates a culture where constructive feedback is valued and negativity loses influence. Leveraging criticism to improve content or performance demonstrates adaptability and emotional strength. Another tip is to avoid personalization, focusing on ideas rather than taking comments as personal attacks. By separating identity from work, responses remain professional, thoughtful, and constructive. Recognizing that some negativity will always exist prevents frustration and allows focus on what truly matters. Self-care is critical, including breaks from social media, hobbies, or offline time to maintain mental and emotional balance. Healthy boundaries ensure that you engage without overexposure, protecting creativity and focus. Mentally preparing for criticism before posting or sharing content reduces shock or emotional vulnerability when negative comments appear. Visualization and positive anticipation of potential feedback increase readiness and composure during interactions. Another technique is responding publicly to constructive criticism while addressing misinformation politely to educate and clarify. This balances visibility, accountability, and audience education without creating unnecessary conflict. Over time, consistent application of these strategies builds reputation as a calm, resilient, and professional communicator. Observers notice when negative comments fail to provoke reactions, which inspires respect and admiration for emotional control. For recurring criticism, implementing structured responses or templates helps maintain consistency without sacrificing authenticity. Templates reduce decision fatigue while ensuring every response aligns with professionalism and empathy. Reflecting on past interactions also provides insight into which strategies work best in different contexts. Another essential tip is celebrating progress, recognizing how handling negativity improves over time and reinforces confidence. Each successful interaction, calm response, or growth from criticism strengthens emotional resilience. Recognizing achievements in response handling motivates continued improvement and skill refinement. Equally important is maintaining perspective. One negative comment rarely represents the entire audience or reality. Contextualizing feedback prevents overgeneralization and emotional overreaction, preserving rational thinking. Advanced communicators know that timing matters. Responding too soon may escalate, while they